The All Progressive Congress has been making concerted efforts at achieving a united front in order to maximize the opportunities that will be presented by its elective national convention scheduled for February the 26th. But the task appears to be getting more difficult thanks to the emergence of a number of stakeholders in the party who've signalled interest in its presidential ticket. This heady mix of ambitious individuals with their various power bases and intimidating war chests appear to be pulling the party in different directions. And the big money on the back remains in place, namely the continued pilotage of the party as chairman of the caretaker committee by a sitting governor, something that runs contrary to its very own constitution. And then last week's declaration of intent to run for president by the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the latest in a series of events that may ultimately determine how the party fares in next year's general election. Well, joining us now to take a closer look at this matter is Joe Ibokwe, who is a former publicity secretary of the All Progressive Congress in Lagos and currently special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on water resources and drainage. Welcome to the morning show, sir. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Well, if we jump straight into it, it does look as though as we edge closer and closer to this primary next month, there does seem to be some disorder within the House of the APC. I mean, give us an insight as to what is happening there. It does look as though Buni's placementship as the chairman of the caretaker committee, is that going to change anytime soon, or is that likely going to be the position he'll take until the very end?
Well, what I want you to understand this morning is that some of these things you see is part of democratic process. When elections are getting close, these are the things that you will see. And for outsiders, it may not be normal, but for us that have been in the system for too long, like you said, as the publicity secretary for our party for nearly 15 years, these are common things we see. But when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. You get it?
Do I? Do I get it, Joe?
You get it?
Okay, if she doesn't get it, are you asking her to forget about it?
It is part of the process.
Okay. Well, I
think it's part of the process. All these cacophony of voices all over the place. These are the things that make a political party what it is. But at the end of the day, we will achieve what we want to achieve. So you allow people to ventilate the ideas and all that, but at the end of the day, by the time we get close to February 26th, things should have been sorted out.
All right, Honorable Joe.
That's politics.
That's politics. I know, of course, that if 26 February holds, as your members, the members of the party, hope, yes, something will happen. Hopefully a new chairman will emerge. But I know that there's no point gainsaying the thing. You are an Asiwaju loyalist and is one of the front runners who perhaps the very first to openly and publicly express his interest to be President Buhari's successor. Now I would like to ask you, you are an Igbo man. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is Yoruba.
Yeah.
This is something that you have been dealing with for a while. The mood of the nation and the mood in the party may be that power should come to the South after 8 years with President Buhari. But then the South is not just Southwest. And therefore, people are not looking at just Asiwaju Tinubu and the Vice President Asiwaju, or even Fayemi, or any other person that might be interested. People are also thinking that Southeast especially, given the fact that South-South, through former President Jonathan, has had about 5.5 years or thereabout of the presidency. And so it might come to you as one of the leading cheerleaders of Asiwaju Tinubu's candidacy to say that why would an Igbo man in Lagos be supporting a Yoruba man at a time that this might look like the only opportunity in a long while for an Igbo man to emerge as president, given the fact that at least 2 or 3 people have already signified their intention to run from the Southeast. How will you deal with this recurring decimal, given that you are an Igbo man, but then you are unrepentantly a Tinubu supporter?
You know, very important question. You know, we have come a long way. And it is open, like you said, it's open for anybody to pick the tickets. You know, I'm an Asiwaju person, and we cannot, I'm not going to look left, I'm not going to look right to take my decision. I have been with him since the early, you know, since the days of June 12, you know, and all that. So, yes, I agree that it's open. South is, South is there, you know. It's on to the South, APC. Bring it on. I only have 1 vote. I only have 1 vote. And that 1 vote, I'm going to give it to Asiwaju of Africa, my leader. And
if he becomes the
other
candidate,
people from Southwest can also vote for his. Yes, if he becomes the candidate. Other people can vote. People from the North, from Southwest can pick their candidates. This is democracy. This is democracy. If you prepare yourself, like Asiwaju has prepared himself over years, has been grooming leaders, pushing up leaders, and his time has come. And if I tell you that I will not give my vote to him, or that I'm going to give any other person my vote, I will be deceiving myself, and the truth is not in me. It is known, people know where I stand. But that is not to say that I do not know where I'm coming from. I come from Southeast. But when we want to vote, we are not looking at where we are looking at who is going to perform. Who is going to perform. And even if it's zoned to Southeast, if it's zoned to South and pick a candidate from the Southeast, then dynamics can change. But if Asiwaju is still in the race and he wins, I'm going to vote for him. But if we decide that it's going to come from Southeast, since 1970, nobody from Southeast has been president of Nigeria, that in itself is an issue. Then we can change. When dynamics change, all of us will just key in, you know. So that is it. But for now, I know that somebody like Governor Mahi from Ebonyi State is coming out. Others may still come out. But let's see how it is. Whoever gets the ticket, if my leader Asiwaju gets the ticket, I will support him. If somebody from South East gets the ticket, which means Asiwaju will not be there, then I will support that person. I am APC 120% beyond mathematics. So that is the way it is.
Right. And, you know, you've just said that it's the right person for the job. Would you say, in all honesty, that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is physically fit for this job? Would you say that?
This kind of question will always come.
Yes.
You know, when you get to US, the number one, democratic nation, you know, and you see Trump, you know his age, you've seen Joe Biden, you know his age. Age has nothing to do with it. It's just a number. It's just a number. So I think he has the capacity. He's coming to the table with lots and lots of experience, you know, and you cannot ignore that. What we should do is to pray for him. I don't think he's older than Biden. I don't think he's older than the former president of Trump.
Mr. Ibokwe, are you saying that you don't know how old? Are you saying you don't know how old? You're staunchly loyal to Tinubu and you're firmly behind him. Are you saying you don't know how old he is?
I can hear you. You said
his age. How old is the party chairman? How the leader of the APC? How old is Tinubu? I can't imagine that you don't know, since you are in such support of him. You'd have to know everything about him.
Is he not 69? He is 69. Okay. 69. That's his age.
All righty.
Okay.
That's his age. And even if he's 70, he's qualified. Even if he's 75, he's qualified. Even if he's 80, he's qualified. Yeah. So long as he's physically fit and he has the mental alertness to do the work. So,
all right.
Okay. You also said
Mm-hmm.
that if Tinubu does not get the ticket, you would go for another person. You know, several groups, including the National Coalition of Women for Asiwaju, which is a group that have been campaigning for the leaders of the All Progressives Congress to adopt Vice President Asiwaju as their consensus presidential candidate. You've said that you're an Asiwaju person. What do you make of Asiwaju?
It's the party that will decide. Whoever emerges, when we go to national convention, whoever emerges, we support that person. Whoever emerges, because only one candidate will be fielded by APC. It can be Asiwaju, it can be Asiwaju, it can be Umahio, it can be others. But as I speak to you now, my voter's card is in my pocket, and I'm going to use it to vote for Asiwaju if he wins the primaries. As a loyal party man, if our party decides to choose another person, it's democracy. We key in. Immediately you key in. It's APC, left or right, front or back. It's APC. So whoever emerges, we will support that. But I pray that my leader will emerge. But if he does not emerge, then whoever emerges, we stand behind that person. That's party loyalty.
Okay.
There's no two way about it.
Okay, what do you think we should expect, and members of the party and the public at large should expect from the convention, the proposed convention for February 26th and 27th, if it holds? We know that a candidate of the party will not emerge, hopefully until about August, when the primaries will hold. But the convention is essentially to select the ESCO.
Executives of the party.
Executives of the party.
Executive of the party,
Yes.
just to elect them.
Exactly.
And they will now go and sit to begin to work for the primaries proper.
Absolutely. But given the division, and the schemings around, the politics that took the former chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, out of office, the politics that has kept Governor Buni in charge for more than 1 year when the caretaker committee was meant to spend barely 3 months. Are we witnessing a gradual, if you like, schism among the parties that came together to form APC? Asiwaju's ACN, which you belong to, President Buhari's CPC, the new PDP that produced, the likes of Rotimi Amechi, Minister for Transportation. Is that what we are witnessing now, or are we going to have a kind of a resolution that will not affect the chances of the party in 2023? So I ask again, how do you think the convention will pan out if a chairman emerges that is not pleasing to other groups that came together to form APC?
In politics, you have a lot of permutations, to play with. Don't worry about that. We have seen it before. Well, we imagine a lot of things. Things are going to be this, it's going to be that way. But those who are working are focused. They know where they are going. Because you have to know where you are going. The legacy parties are the parties that came together to form APC. One of the clauses there is that you can never return to those parties again. That is, the decision then was final. That once you move into APC, you can't go back. So those parties are going to be dead.
But Saraki went back to PDP as an individual and a few other people. You can't.
An individual can move from the legacy party to the other party. That one is allowed.
Yes.
You can move. But what we are saying that you cannot move now to go and resuscitate the party, one of those legacy parties. That was because it was explicit that we signed. So APC remains. If you move as an individual, not as one of the legacy party, as a member of one of the legacy parties, that formed APC. So that is the understanding then. So anybody can go, but you cannot go and begin to resuscitate or the other parties, ACN, and others.
CPC.
Those ones are they are history now. We're not talking about it. It's APC. If you leave APC, you are just on your own.
I see that you do
there as a political party.
Okay, Mr. Igbokwe, I see that you do not want to play up the politics and the schemings leading to this convention. But I understand that you are a loyal party member.
No. I can say something. It's part of the process. There will be lots and lots of movements. There will be lots and lots of intrigues. Playing the real politics. This is expected in a dynamic society like Nigeria, or dynamic country like Nigeria. Movements. Interest. Everybody wants to be the national chairman of APC. You know what that position means. Everybody wants to be this, but only one person will occupy that place. People will scheme. Many will fail. Only one person is going to be as national chairman. And if I tell you that as party men that we don't have anybody, we are looking for, but we may have somebody in mind. That will go there.
Do you have somebody in mind?
All these things are planned.
Do you have somebody in mind, given that it has been zoned?
Leaders know.
Okay, given that it has been zoned
to bring to the table.
Okay, but
anybody can be there. Anybody that has capacity, the kind of capacity Oshiomhole has, the kind of capacity Governor Buni has, can fit in. We have those people in great numbers. Our problem is just to choose one capacity, the man with the highest capacity and capability to do the job. So that one is not a problem. When we get to the bridge, mark my word, we'll cross it.
I wanted to take you back on what you said earlier. This is in regards to Tinubu's declaration. You mentioned mental alertness of a candidate. Only last week, your Tinubu, while addressing some women leaders who paid him a visit in Abuja, said that our PVCs have expired, only to come back to say that he made a mistake. Now, what do you say to Nigerians who actually believe that he's not mentally alert?
So someone cannot make mistakes again?
Well, it seems to be something, a recurring situation. Because
no. There's nobody that cannot say he has not made one mistake or another. Mistakes are bound to be made. What happens thereafter is that you have seen your mistake and you correct it. Everybody can make mistake. Everybody can make mistakes. It's allowed. It is normal in any society, anywhere in the world. The president make mistakes. A president can make mistake. So this is political season, so anything can happen. If a frontliner makes a mistake, it becomes, headline. It makes headlines. But it's normal in a democratic setting. It's normal everywhere. Presidents can make mistakes. Wonderful individuals can make mistakes. Well-educated people can make mistakes. So it's not peculiar to anybody. There can be slip of tongue. There can be slip of, so many things. What happens thereafter is what we'll be focusing on. Not as if somebody makes one small mistake somewhere, we'll be using it. There are things on ground that will swallow those little mistakes that you think can bring in anything. Asiwaju is always alert. He has a lot of things on his table. He has a lot of, people all over the place. So many things. To aspire to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not a tea party. You have a lot to contend with. Across Nigeria, there's so many groups I cannot remember now that have all for Asiwaju. Everybody is forming a group. So many things are happening. So you don't expect that he calls all kinds of things. So you don't expect that he has to be 100%. He's not God now. It's only God that does not make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes, no matter your level, no matter your position, no matter your training. You are bound to make mistakes.
Okay, Mr. Igbokwe, all right, I get that correctly. But then, you're Igbo. People say that in Yoruba land, where Asiwaju is from, that except for a place like Ibadan, in Ibadan, where kingmakers do become kings, that it is unlikely for kingmakers to declare themselves as being interested on the throne. And they say that what happened when Asiwaju went to express his interest to the president is akin to, giving a signal that is after that seat, whether the president likes it or not. But three key things that people tend to bring out about the Asiwaju candidacy. I don't know if you agree with them, and what would be your thoughts regarding those three key things that people think might work against him. One is the fact that he's a Muslim. And people think that if power will come to the South, given the fact that the current president is a Muslim, it will most likely come to a Christian Southerner with, of course, the preference of the North usually, which is to have a Muslim Northerner to run with him as his running mate. Given why Asiwaju didn't get the vice presidential slot with Buhari in 2015, it was because he was a Muslim and he couldn't run on a Muslim ticket. How do you think this will pan out? Do you think that the North will be forced to, if Asiwaju emerges, be forced to produce a Christian deputy to Asiwaju? Two, his educational qualifications. I see that a lot is on social media. But people say that you can't run away from having declared that you attended a certain primary school and a certain secondary school, namely Aroloya Primary School in Lagos that did not exist at that time, and Government College Ibadan, where apparently Asiwaju didn't attend. How will you summon that hurdle? And lastly, the issue of the bullion van in his house on the eve of a major election. That has become a recurrent decima. It happened. What was a bullion van doing in an individual's house, a party leader's house, on the eve of an election? These are recurrent issues. Do you think that they will ever go away, given the staunch opposition against Asiwaju's candidacy?
Let me put it this way. You see, what we defeated in 1993 is coming up again. With 1993, when we were voting Abiola and Kingibe, we are not interested in where they are coming from or their religion. We 1993 to date is how many years?
30, almost 30.
Is it not almost 30 years?
Yes. And things have
almost
changed.
30 years.
And things have changed.
We defeated that. Yes, we defeated that ethnic or religious bigotry in 1993. And it's coming up again. Let me tell you. Actually, that you are talking about, his wife is a pastor in the Redeemed Church of God. These things do not matter again for people like us. That's something we defeated almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, but maybe it matters to the public, the voting public. We cannot go back. We have left Egypt. We cannot go back to Egypt. All we are looking at is someone who has a lot to bring to the table. We are rooting for Asiwaju. I don't know about I'm talking about vice president. Okay, it's still, but we are looking at the man who is in the saddle. We are looking for Asiwaju because he has a lot to bring to the table, because he can be trusted, because he cares, because he stands for something, because he is dependable, because he knows where he is going. That's what we need. And we have seen that displayed in Lagos. The foundation he laid in Lagos from 1999 to 2007 is what is making Lagos to remain the 5th largest economy in Africa, and is going to the 4th largest economy in Africa, given what is being put in place now. All these people you mentioned that are his boys. His boys. So, are we not can't we reward hard work? Can we reward hard work?
time has come for us to go anywhere in this country, pick anybody. Somebody that cannot be a Christian or Muslim, so long as that someone has something to bring to the table, we use that person. You know, let me shock you. If you go to a World Cup with a bad team, the only thing that will happen is that during the first match, during the first matches, you know, that poor team will be kicked out, and you just pack your once they defeat you, just pack your bag and go home. But if you are given an office for 4 years, if you give a mediocre an office for 4 years, that person will stay 4 years. And if guy is not taking, before he finishes the 4 years, you would have gotten enough muscle, enough money to go for another one, 8 years. So you'll be saddled with a fool for 8 years. Unlike what happens in football. So you cannot afford to make that mistake. You have to bring in somebody that has track record of performance. I'm a product of Asiwaju's political university. We'll call it university, Bodilon University. I have been on training. I have been on training, publicity secretary for 15 years in Lagos. Yeah, almost 15 years. I was a GM of an agency in Lagos. I was chairman of an agency in Lagos before I was made SA Drainage.
So Asiwaju made you.
You can see
That's
the
what
track
you are saying,
record.
Honorable. Asiwaju made you.
You can see the track record. He has thousands. He sent people to the House of Reps, Senate, across Nigeria. So this is payback time. So people like us, they don't care where you're coming from, the language you speak, or the church you go, or the mosque you attend. What we want is the head of that person. His head, what is in his head? What's going to bring to the table? That's what we're thinking of. Then the second one is certificate. These certificate issues came up when he was the governor. Shortly after being elected as the governor in 1999, he defeated them. He defeated the rumor mongers and all kinds of people. If I want to be president now, all kinds of things will start coming up. So, like some people say, Joe Ibokwe is married to the late SCN Ibokwe, the musician. They don't know me. They don't know where I'm coming from. They will be saying all kinds of things. Once we emerge, people will find something. And they say they attach so many things to they say I'm married to Yoruba. I'm married to this. These are the things people will be saying. But the truth remains that what is on ground is on ground. What you have it. Don't look at it. Was rumors that brought the French Revolution, I think in 1915 or so. Rumors that brought the French Revolution in either 1913 or 1915. So we cannot, once you declare interest, things like this happen. Then you talk about bullion van. Hey, bullion van is not peculiar to, it's not what banks use. It's not meant for the banks. People use, companies use bullion van to take money to, well, if you hire them, they will take money, they will take cash. It's not only cash they take, they can carry gold, they can carry so many things. So anything that is valuable, they can carry it. You pay. So it's not peculiar to carry money from banks only. You can carry private money. You can do some. I have seen people who use bullion van to take private money. So that one cannot stand. That one cannot. People have debunked something, and I've seen so many reasons advanced. People came out and clearly defined what bullion van does or bullion vans do. So that one in itself is there. These things will come up, but we will crush it when we get to the bridge. We will cross it and we won't look back. We won't look back. If I tell you that these things will not come, given my experience, I'll be deceiving myself. So let's wait and see.
Yeah.
We will defeat these things when they come because they must come.
All right.
So that's what have I answered your questions?
you have touched all the three issues. You've touched on them.
We'll wait for the time when we cross it. Well, you're a Southeasterner, as Steve has rightly mentioned, and by inference, you do not believe it's time for power to be zoned to the South. Now, you have also mentioned the capacity of presidential candidate to deliver. Now, if you were to back a candidate, just because you're from the Southeast, between Orji Uzor Kalu and Dave Umahi, who would you say makes a stronger candidate?
You mean the two?
Yes.
Are you including my? Okay, we are talking about Southeast now.
Yes,
eh?
just
Southeast.
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 Okay. If I have to pick, I'll just pick Umahi.
You pick Umahi and why?
Umahi is a trained engineer. Yes. If you go to Abakaliki, you'll see what the man is doing there. It's just like what is going on in Lagos. It's just like what is going on in Kaduna. So we know these governors that are doing the work. We know them. If you go to Abakaliki, that's the lowest state in the Southeast in terms of development, and but go to that place today, you wouldn't believe it. I don't know how much is the IGR. I don't know where he's getting the money from, but you won't believe what is happening in Abakaliki. If that time is changed and you say you want to, I will say, go and pick Umahi. Go and pick Umahi. He knows what governance is all about. He has been able to transform that weakest state in the Southeast, that most backward state in the Southeast, into a great city. You go to Abakaliki and you see.
Okay,
So,
Mr.
don't
Igwe.
worry about it. If Nigerians decide that they must take it to Southeast, please go and pick Engineer Umahi.
That's a good one,
Yes.
given that you are an Anambra man. So, I mean, I commend you for that large-heartedness. But just a quick one before we leave.
We're not for mediocrity. we don't. It's either you're good or bad.
All right.
So we know.
Okay, just a quick last question before we go, if you can kindly answer in less than 1 minute. APC is hemorrhaging in Lagos, your base, where you have been for more than 20, possibly 30 years. With the defection of Jide Adediran and the Lagos for Lagos team, and you could see from what happened 2 days ago, practically about 7 governors, chairman of PDP, welcomed him into the party at a big rally in Lagos 2 days ago. Given the fact that last election, barely 500,000 votes came for the president, from Lagos State, the lowest so far, I believe, since 1999. Now you have a sizable chunk of your party leaving for PDP. Is the party not hemorrhaging in Lagos? How are you dealing with the issues that could lead Ejide Adediran and his team out of the party, and possibly maybe there are others who are not satisfied with issues of imposition, with issues of only one person taking decision, and moving closer to 2023. Maybe others might leave. How do you deal with that sort of a thing, given that Asiwaju himself now wants to go to the federal and people are leaving his party in Lagos State?
Well, if this is not the Lagos I know, these things you are saying will happen unless if this is not the Lagos that I know. You see, these things will come. What did you call his name? I mean, the man that is challenging is coming out for PD. What did you call his name? He's not in the cards. His name is not on the table. I was the publicity secretary of our party for 15 years, and we nailed PDP in Lagos. Not by mere mouthing it, but performance, service delivery, grappling with the influx of Nigerians into Lagos on a daily basis. Lagos is not for mediocres. Lagos is for those who understand what leadership is all about. You see, when people like us that have been in this system talk, people should pay attention.
Well, all right.
So you think in your imaginations, in your thoughts, that PDP will defeat APC in Lagos. They don't have the muscle. They don't exist. Everybody that is important in PDP Lagos is down in APC. The only person remaining is Bode George. Jimmy Abaje tried. The other person tried. No, nothing. We defeated them in their houses, in their polling booths.
Well, all right.
This one is not known. He can't even talk. He has nothing to bring to the table. He has no antecedents. He has no experience. Where is he coming from? PDP in Lagos? That's a joke.
Well, on that
That's a
note-
joke.
Well,
You
thank
can
you
bring
very
anybody
much.
to come to Alausa. We see some failed governors. We saw some failed governors that came to, is it Tafawa Balewa Square,
Balewa
to
Square.
come and make sure those who cannot start one road in their states, they came to Lagos. You know, Lagos is too big.
Mr. Bokwe, it pains us
Lagos is too big to be put in the hands of mediocres.
All right.
Let them play their game and collect money. They cannot Alausa is not for just anybody.
All right, we've heard you.
We have
loud
set
and clear.
standards of leadership
Mr.
in Lagos,
Joe
and it
Igwe.
cannot go down.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning show.
Thank you, Mr. Igwe.
Today.
We appreciate it.
Well, all right.